have to show this. I'm in the middle of shuffling. And it says, letting go and hug. Letting go is full energy. It's releasing, surrendering. I'm sorry, I'm not answering any questions. I put that in the pinned comment. I'm not answering any questions. Okay. So I'm going to delete your comment. Okay. Okay, more prana. So I'm going to do a collective reading. Just to see what you need to know. It could be for the next 7 days, whenever you happen to come across this replay. If you're not watching the live stream, what messages do you need to know? I'm going into the Revealing the Truth Oracle deck. Okay, so just so everyone knows, I am not answering any questions. If I see a question in the chat, I will delete it. Okay, hi Nessie, how are you? Okay, what does the collective need to know for the week ahead? What does the collective need to know for the week ahead? Uh-huh. Hi, Lion Sky. I said if I saw another S card, somebody's name starts with a S. Because I said if I see another S card and somebody's name starts with the letter S. I got 3 cards that start with the letter S. At the bottom of the deck, we have Miss You. So I'm using the Revealing the Truth Oracle deck. I have the Mermaid Tarot. I'm going to use that. I felt inclined to use it. But I have these Love Oracle decks. Okay. So for the week ahead, or next 7 days, whenever you happen to come across this reading, the first card we have is Shadow, the Other Side, Coexist, Reverse Side. Sacrifice, Dedication, Ritual, Worship, Voluntary. Apple, Wisdom, Death, Sexuality, Joy. For me, this is like the Temptation card. If we were thinking about apples in the biblical sense, you know. And then we have the Trash card that's underneath Shadow. Waste, Worthless, Mouse. Synchronization, Resonance, Music, Emotion. And Divine Timing, Wrong Time, Right Time, Wait. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Miss You, Wait, Eager. Wait, it says Miss, Wait, Eager. And then underneath that, we have Commitment, Oath, Agreement, Pledge, and Promise. And then underneath that was Torment, Anxiety, Bondage, Depression, and Troubled. The last card I see, and it's something that I'm like, is Sunset, Lost Loved One, Memories, Elder. I feel like, all right, with the shadow energy, so I'm thinking I automatically think of, not always, I don't always think this way, because the apple can also symbolize knowledge, information that you're getting, and understanding, clarity, eternal knowledge. When you think about the Bible and what it says about the apple, that it wasn't supposed to be eaten, then once they ate the apple, Adam and Eve ate the apple, then they something happened, right? They gained knowledge, understanding, and everything. Instead of having faith in God and not trusting in God, they went against God and disobeyed his orders about the fruit. They say it's an apple. I don't know if it's an apple, but it's always some fruit. Yes, this is a collective. I'm not answering any questions today. Hi, Kavita. Hi, Augie. Hi, Sohan. How are you? This live stream is for people who are 18 years and older. So everyone knows who I am. My name is Tan. Artemis Oracle is my channel. I'm an oracle and tarot card reader. Right now I'm doing a general collective reading for the next 7 days of whenever you happen to see this live stream or the replay. Okay, so we know the biblical sense what the apple represents, right? It says wisdom, death, sexuality, and joy. When you think back to the story, Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden. They were apparently living in paradise. They had everything they needed, everything that I think they could want. But, usually you want something, it's because you feel like there's some sort of lack, like you're missing everything, right? But it's like they had everything they needed. But then once they had this apple, this is when all mayhem ensued. But with the shadow sacrifice apple, I feel like there could be somebody that's in the shadows who's willing to sacrifice, make some sort of sacrifice of something. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because of the mystery card, the commitment and torment. Somebody's in torment. And then when by mistake, when I look under sunset, I move the card in an empty room, and then addiction. So somebody has some sort of a behavior that may have been a hindrance, some shadow behavior. It could be something like that. But I want to clarify with tarot exactly what this could be. But the shadow, the other side coexists, reverse side. When you think about the reverse of the shadow, it's the light. So there could be something that's unknown to you, that has yet to be revealed, that has yet to be exposed in some way. With the sacrifice card coming after that, it's probably someone may be doing something behind the scenes, that there may be some sort of sacrifice someone is making. And I'm not talking about like lay someone on a rock and then you have a blade and that type of, it's nothing like that. It's more like somebody's giving something up. Giving something up that may be a source of temptation to them. Something that has been a waste of time, a waste of energy, something that has not been fruitful to them. And probably is the source of all problems. Because with the mouse, if you don't take care of an infestation, a mouse infestation, right? If you don't take care of a mouse infestation, it becomes a big problem. If I think about the Lenormand deck and what the mouse represents, it's a small problem that becomes a bigger issue. Somebody didn't realize that something that they've been doing hidden, something that may be part of their shadow, part of them doing some sort of shadow work. It could be that they're realizing has been a waste of time, a waste of effort, hasn't been fruitful, and has possibly been the source of some problem they're experiencing. But I feel like with the release of that, the trashing, the decluttering, the removal of something is tied to the sacrifice card, but then it's lending to some sort of synchronization, some sort of alignment, some sort of or maybe someone's realizing that whatever they've been doing, whatever they've been experiencing, maybe possible addictions that they've kept hidden, has been a source of things being out of sync. And this sacrifice is essentially allowing them to free themselves. And before I really started the reading, I showed the letting go card with the hug card. The hug card is like the sun card in the revealing the truth deck. It's like once you release anything that doesn't serve you, anything that has been negative or has been essentially polluting or tainting something in your life, is where you will see an improvement. You can have a better mindset, positive experiences, but also the positive changes within your life. The sacrifice, whoever's making, whoever, I don't know if this is you or whoever you're maybe dealing with or that may be going on around you, was allowing things to fall into place and bring some sort of alignment. When you look at the sacrifice card, it looks like someone is like lifting their hands up in the air. It's like a release. It's letting go. It's freedom. It's liberation. Liberation. Liberating themselves from a burden. Something that has been a burden. It could be also the opening of the heart chakra as well, because we see the green color. And the green color represents the heart chakra. And synchronization shows emotion. So there may have been something that was blocking someone's heart chakra. Someone from receiving and giving love. Someone may have had some sort of vice. We do have the addiction card showing up. So a vice could be with substances. It could be with intimacy. Let me see. I'm not answering any questions. So if I see questions, I'm going to remove it. I put it in the pinned comment. So but something's happening in divine timing. This sacrifice of any attachments, behaviors, habits is a much needed one, because it's going to relieve some sort of burden off you. It's probably going to even be the source of removing any negative experiences that you've been having that okay, I had to put subscriber mode on because people are not listening. And one thing about me I'm going to let you know is if I put a pinned comment, it's for you to read it. If you don't read it and I'm telling you I'm not answering questions, I will block you. I will delete your messages. I said that in the beginning, I'm not answering questions. I have a pinned comment there for you to read. I'm not answering questions. Now, with the mystery, commitment, and torment, there could be somebody in the background. It could be the shadow person. This could be the person that's in the shadows. This person that's possibly doing some sort of shadow work. If this is involving another person, there is a sense of longing and missing. There may be some sort of distance between you and this person. This person, she seems to be standing at it looks like a train platform. I don't know. It reminds me of the elevated train platforms we have in New York City. So it looks like someone who's waiting for a train. Maybe someone has a lover that has traveled some long distance, has possibly moved away. And there, with the commitment card coming in, there may have been a broken commitment. And that could be where the source of torment, anxiety, bondage, depression, turmoil stemming from, because there may have been some sort of commitment that was broken, or a promise that was broken, a promise someone didn't keep. It has somebody feeling lonely because of an ending. It does say lost loved one, memories, elder, and nightfalls. Sunset to me represents endings. When we have a sunset, that means the day is ending and now we're entering into the night. Essentially, that's in the shadow. We're entering that shadow phase of the day. So somebody's name can start with the letter S. I keep seeing S's. But empty room, somebody's feeling lonely. There's no one there. The end, the opportunity. And addiction. Addiction may have been a source of the ending, but it could be the end of addictions, the end of abuse. I want to say abuse. I don't know if there was abuse, but I meant it in the sense of substance abuse. But there could have been some sort of obsession. Hopefully there was an emotional or physical abuse, but there was definitely some sort of toxicity coming through. And we do have this card here. I don't know if somebody has issues with imbibing, with alcohol. But definitely this also implies depression too, because you see the messy bed, the unkept room, the empty bottles. So someone has been self-isolating. And, sometimes when we go into isolation, this is like hermit mode, but like in the worst sense, where you're now like, you're alone, but then when you're left to your own devices, sometimes you go into, you know how it is when you leave kids alone in a room and you don't supervise them. If they find the baby powder or they find the petroleum jelly, they make a whole big mess, So it's like somebody's has been left to their own devices, and they may have entered into that shadow energy of themselves. Maybe possibly having a dark night of the soul. You may be finding this out in due time, because this is supposed to be for the next 7 days. I don't know. This feels that there may be somebody. I want to know because this is too much. Like, all right, I read these cards as it is, but I want to know. I don't know. I don't think this deck is the right deck. This is the Mermaid Tarot, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I need to use something else. I want to use my Edgar Allan Poe deck, because this deck has a shadow energy. If you know anything about Edgar Allan Poe, he wrote basically dark stories. He wrote The Raven, The Telltale Heart. So I like this type of deck for like shadowy type readings. When we go into the dark side, even though it's what time is it here? It's 4:19 p.m. and the East Coast. Okay. So I want to know about this shadow. What is the shadow? What is the shadow regarding? I want to know if it's a person, a place, a thing. What is the energy tied to the shadow? Got a card to flip. The Devil. Oh my gosh. The Devil came out. The Devil card came out. We have addiction. Somebody is definitely in their shadow energy. Operating off their shadow energy. You notice that this is a skeleton of someone who's been left alone. This is a person that was buried in the wall. But you see there, and then there's a black cat missing an eye. You got the Two of Cups showing up. This has to do with some sort of relationship where there definitely was toxicity, obsession, unhealthy dynamic. This could be a relationship between two people who have a child together. Because here, the Two of Cups usually has the lion on the top, but right here it has a baby. It looks like a baby head. So I don't know if somebody, yuck. Wow. I don't know if somebody ended a pregnancy. I'm going to say that. Because the fact that it's a baby head, gross, ill, yuck. I don't know why. But it could be between a relationship between people who had a relationship. And wasn't it just talking about the lion and somebody having a child? We have the strength card showing up with Leo energy. So shadow energy. So this shadow energy has to do with a couple that has a child together. One of them may be a Capricorn energy. There's Leo energy showing up as well. With the strength card. Someone is, with the strength card, is someone who is grappling with some sort of toxicity. Having to deal with it, trying to, maybe try to be non-reactive, because you look at the way this is a lion statue. Right? And you see the feminine figure is holding, it doesn't matter if you're masculine or feminine, whatever, right? Don't matter. It's a person holding, like trying to tame themselves, try to tame the beast within. You know how, and there's an infinity symbol too. The infinity symbol may be significant, but it's like somebody is trying to tame some sort of shadow energy. It could be trying to tame their emotions, trying not to be reactive towards someone, or trying to control that shadow energy within themselves. So they could be dealing with someone, like with the strength card, and so someone could be the Capricorn energy, the devil. I'm not saying Capricorns are the devil, okay, please. Capricorns, I doubt any Capricorns watch my videos. I actually, that's not true. I have Alpha. Who watches, and he's a Capricorn. But there's Leo energy too. I mean, maybe this is Alpha's reading, because he does have a Leo daughter. But it's like having to deal with a toxic person. Try not to like allow them to get you into the shadow energy. That may resonate with this. Yeah, there's maybe some sort of ending that may have ensued. It could have been the end of a Two of Cups relationship, but it could also be that ending, like someone possibly successfully controlling themselves, someone who's possibly falling into shadow energy in the past, but this time around they didn't take the bait. You know, with the world card coming in, it's like that may have been a vicious cycle for someone, and we did mention the infinity symbol here. So I think maybe someone is learning how to control how they react to certain things, not allowing their pride or ego which is part of our shadow energy. Wow. The Lovers showing up. And that was on top of trash. Someone may have been in a trashy love situation, like the relationship was just destructive, unhealthy, may have been the source of someone forming an addiction, or some sort of a toxic attachment at the very least. So this is what's happening this week. So I don't know if some of you, if this resonates with you with the shadow energy, some of you may have ended a relationship, or you may be ending a relationship with someone you've had a child with that possibly is someone who may be trying to incite some sort of reaction out of you, but somehow they're not going to get the better of you, because you're going to control yourself, or take it out how it resonates. This reading may not resonate with everybody, but somebody's going to get reins over their ego, their pride, even their reactions, being reactive to someone who may be trying to goad them into, you know, trying to start trouble, drama, starting to start drama. Now we had the Lovers card fall on top of the trash card. Why the Lovers with the trash card? This is Waste Worthless, Mouse, the Magician. Let's see. Wow, we got 3 major arcana here. Like, this shit is some serious shit. Because already out of the... How many cards? We have 7 cards here. And 6 of them are major arcana. This is like a big shift that someone's experiencing within the next 7 days of this. The infinity symbol came back again with the Magician. Gemini, Virgo energy. The Lovers is Gemini energy. We're currently in Gemini season. And then the Hierophant with Taurus. Taurus, and when it comes to relationship, I mean, the Hierophant is usually about commitment, higher level of commitment, relationships, marriage, contracts. I don't know if somebody was trying to get back with an ex or is going to try to get back with you. Someone's might be trying to get back together with you. That popped up in my mind. I don't know. I just imagine somebody saying, "Oh, I missed you. You know, I can't be without you. I miss you. Like I promise I'll change. I promise I'll change." But if this person was a source of torment, that's something that needs to be forgiven. Can what this person did be forgiven? Can you forgive this person? That's a question that only you can answer if this message resonates with you. But I feel like there may be somebody that someone has had an unhealthy relationship with, a lover's dynamic, because we have the Lover's card showing up, that may be trying to manifest commitment, manifest marriage, manifest a union or a reunion. I'm sorry, the lighting is terrible. Look, the Empress. Like I was telling you, somebody with a child, the Empress child. Some of you may have a daughter, because I see a daughter there. Let me see. Does that look better? This is somebody with a daughter. When I split the deck, I see the Queen of Cups showing up. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Yeah, feminine figure. Definitely a mother. Okay, so somebody, take this as it resonates. It could be a mother that may be trying to reunite with ex. Like they're the father of their child, or it could be a father of a child that's trying to reunite with the mother figure of the child. Oh, that makes sense. But it's the Empress. So this has to do with somebody with a child. Trying to manifest some sort of commitment. I'm trying to read these cards separately to see if they're separate messages, but the fact that the Lover's card fell on top of the trash, and then we were talking about mother figure and stuff, the shadow and trash card are connected to each other. Okay? So there may be somebody you have a child with that you are no longer with, that you've had not the greatest relationship, you don't have the greatest history. You know, it has been nothing but stressful, tormenting, toxic, possibly addictions involved, toxic attachments, obsession, substance abuse. They may be trying to reunite with some the parent, the child, the parent, the person that has their child. I like, it's like hard for me to say what I'm talking about. Somebody's trying to reunite with their baby mama or baby daddy. That's what I'm getting. I'm just gonna say it like that. All right, so I want to know the sacrifice card. What is the sacrifice energy related to? Okay, I don't know if it's going to be related to what we just talked about, or it's going to be a separate message. Okay, so sacrifice, dedication, ritual, worship, voluntary. So we have Four of Pentacles. Earlier, I was talking about something needs to be released. And it's what's going to allow someone to open up their heart chakra, because the way the sacrifice card shows, someone with their arms raised up as if they're liberating themselves. Like they're like letting it, like, like letting God handle it, letting the universe handling it. We have the Four of Pentacles. This has to do with someone being in their comfort zone, staying where they feel safe, playing it safe. Someone may be deciding to take some sort of risk. Now with the Four of Pentacles card, which is to me like the comfort zone. Someone who doesn't make any moves, they stay where they are. So someone may be deciding to take some sort of risk. I'm gonna see what this is related to. For your Pentacles, it may be like a team dynamic. It could be a work collaboration, a project. It's definitely tied to finances. Let's see what else. The Queen of Cups card came out. I feel like some of you may be following your heart with regards to the sacrifice energy. Maybe some of you have a wish, something that you've been really wanting to do, but you've somehow put it on the wayside. You may have sacrificed, or you may have felt like you sacrificed a desire that you had. But also it's because you may have been in your comfort zone. Someone may have been in a comfort zone, but now with the Queen of Cups card showing up is indicating someone is now willing to move forward, take some sort of steps, and allow their heart to guide them in this situation. When it comes to the Four of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. So someone wants to work together. Maybe some of you prefer to be on your own, but now you're realizing how important it is for you to network with other people and to collaborate with others, share ideas. The Emperor is about taking control. I don't know if some of you are writers, you're writing a story. I know I did a tarot reading for a writer recently, so that could be his reading right now. So it's necessary for you to kind of meet up with people who share the same goal in mind. Meet up with people, connect. Share your passion, share your love for writing or whatever it is. You could be a creator with the Emperor card showing up. Also, this is about taking leadership of your own life, following your heart, letting your heart lead the way, and knowing that you will be successful, that you have control, you have authority. Some of you may have felt like you didn't really have that much control, and now you're realizing you do. The only thing that you've been doing has been limiting yourself, and you're realizing now it's time for you to step out of your comfort zone and start to work with other people, start to collaborate. Okay. So that's something that may be a realization this week. You know, some sort of liberation, some sort of inspiration that may be coming to you, understanding. There may be some sort of opportunity coming to you that you're going to have to follow your heart regarding. You know, Four of Cups. Four of Cups is usually about an opportunity, you know, an opportunity that may be missed because someone is apathetic, no longer caring. So this is coming out of that apathetic energy, you know. With the sacrifice, you know, if you felt like you've been uninspired, you feel disconnected, it's time for you to connect to other people, especially with regards to some creative pursuit that you have. It could be, like I said, with writing, because, you know, the Emperor shows Edgar Allan Poe, and, you know, he's a famous poet and writer, you know. So some of you could be writers, creators. You could be doing something that has to do with text. You could be songwriters, artists of some sort. However that resonates with you. Some of you are being called to collaborate with others. Share your ideas. Be careful though. You know, I know people like worry about their ideas being stolen, you know. All right. So what does this synchronization card have to do with? The Seven of Wands. This is about keeping your guard up, protecting yourself, standing your ground as well. With synchronization, music, emotion, resonance. For King of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, essentially the Emperor. I feel like the synchronization is sacrifice card. I mentioned earlier that sometimes when you sacrifice something and you relieve yourself, you take the pressure, take the burdens off of a sacrifice that's much needed. Something that you've been holding on to that you no longer need to. It's what's going to allow things to align. And it's like some of you may be needing, like I said, to be putting down the guard because, you know, some of you have been in your comfort zone, but this comfort zone has led you to be disconnected from your heart space. And this is where you need to connect. This is where the inspiration, the motivation, the drive, the passion, the desire is going to come from. But it's a matter of putting down your guard, which the Seven of Wands represents. And then we have the Ace of Wands. It's about inspiration. Inspiration is going to be incited once you put your guard down. Once you allow yourself. Look at this, envelopes, writings. I don't know if some of you are into correspondence. I think about invitations. Some sort of invitation. Okay, now the synchronization. I'm going to read this a different way. Some of you may have been... No, those are not envelopes. Sorry. Those are journals. Sorry. I thought those were envelopes. From my angle, like from looking at the screen, it looks like an envelope. Some of you may be getting some sort of notification, correspondence. I don't know if some of you are writing, or you put your work out there, you sent them out to publishers, and you're waiting for some sort of communication about whether your book is going to be published, or if your book is being, it's going to be... I don't know how publishers work, but there may be something to look out for. Something that's going to make you a bit excited this week. Some good news, because good news that's just going to reignite some sort of passion in you. It's just going to make you excited. It's going to spark something in you. It's going to light a fire under you, especially if you've been feeling apathetic. The correspondence could also be what's like inviting you to connect with other people too. So it could be some sort of invitation that will allow you to, that's going to require you to make some sort of sacrifice, especially if you're one that loves to be in your comfort zone. You may be like, oh, maybe I should try this, even though I don't want to do this, but, you're going to make that little sacrifice, and I'm like you, and the sacrifice in the sense that, okay, like I'm going to, instead of going home and watching Netflix or just working on my project or doing whatever it is you were doing that you usually do, you're going to step out of the box, and then this is where the inspiration, the resonance, the synchronization starts to happen. That's going to ignite some sort of passion, fire within you. But you may be feeling guarded about whatever opportunity may be coming towards you when it comes to this invitation. Now, let's see. I want to know what this apple is about. King of Swords. The King of Swords is someone who is thoughtful. He takes all information into consideration. He takes actions based on the ideas that he gets, that he receives. He could sometimes be irrational or impulsive if he doesn't take his time to really look through the information that he's receiving. And the Eight of Pentacles. We are in Gemini season, and Gemini is an air sign, and would probably fall under the King of Swords energy. Let me take a sip. See, wisdom, death, sexuality, joy. I say this is like the temptation card, but that could be some sort of information that's coming in from a King of Swords energy, which is Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini energy. But then we have the Knight of Swords. And knights are usually the court card characters, the court characters that let me take this out. The court characters that take action, like the Knight of Wands is the one that goes back and forth, always going back and forth, going to and fro, always active. The Knight is the person that he takes actions based on his emotions, so he acts out of emotions. The Knight of Swords acts out of ideas or information that he receives, what he's learned. So some of you may be in the process of studying something and gaining some sort of wisdom, but it's something that you've been really focused on. But with the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, I feel like some of you are... Yeah, I feel like some of you may be in the process of communicating to someone. Because you see here, Edgar Allan Poe's character, on this deck, this card, the Eight of Pentacles, look at his face. He looks like he's writing something from the heart. There seems to be a bit of anguish in his face, sadness, maybe a little bit of despair. There could be some sort of regret that someone may be expressing towards you. Maybe if this is a love situation, because I see here the Six of Pentacles, There is a dude here. He has a scale and he's weighing the pentacles, you know, and there's a feminine in the picture frame. So there may be somebody writing to you, writing to someone. I don't know if it's you or someone else. Take the messages as they resonate. And just so everyone knows, I am not answering questions. Read the pinned comments. Okay? I put it there for you to read. Six of Pentacles. Maybe someone feels like, I feel like somebody has some sort of regret about not being fair, not giving fairly, not investing fairly. Maybe focusing on other things. Because underneath that is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is usually the crossroads card about deciding what action to take. I feel like somebody has some sort of regret about an action where they felt like they may not have treated you fairly. This doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic communication, because you could receive this type of communication, whether it's a text message, a letter. It could even be a conversation over the phone. It could even be a meeting. Someone may be wanting to express how they may have made the wrong decision, made the wrong choice. That may have caused some sort of breakdown, some sort of split, with the Tower card underneath. And this is for the King of Swords, Knight of Swords. Yeah. Look at the Wheel of Fortune. They've had a change of heart about something. There definitely seems to be some sort of regret. Somebody's thinking about something that they did. Because in this story, here you see the King of Swords. He's the one that thinks. He intellectualizes things. He gathers information and makes sound decisions. Makes sound judgments. And some of you may actually be hearing about a judgment that may be going in your favor. That may be bringing you a level of justice and fairness. Okay, that's the side note right there. But the Knight of Swords, somebody took some sort of action. And this story, this character, I think it was his wife had passed away and he was obsessed. So he went and dug up her grave and he took her teeth. I'm not exactly sure why he took her teeth. I don't remember, but you see there's like these teeth on the table and then he has this dagger here. I don't know if you could see that very clearly, but on the table there's like these little teeth that he took from the corpse of his bride. And he also has some red stuff on his pants and you see the muddy footprints. But then in the story, though, the person wasn't dead. She was still alive. Apparently, she was still alive when he took her teeth, you know. But act rashly. See, she died. They buried her rashly. She wasn't dead. She was still alive. And then he took her teeth and she was still alive. He took her teeth while she was still alive. But then, I'm just telling you the story, okay? So somebody did something that they regret. Something that they probably feel like they cannot take back. Because I doubt you could just put somebody's teeth back in their mouth without a dentist or something. But the Eight of Pentacles is indicating that someone, like it's just showing someone who's focused. Someone who's writing. I feel like somebody's focused on communicating something to you. And we do have two cards about communication. The King of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So, but I also feel like it could also be some sort of judgment that may be coming out in your favor. That may be bringing some level of, and maybe this person could be a wise person that's reaching out to you, or someone who has gained some sort of wisdom or knowledge. And it could, like I said, it could be tied to some sort of something they did that they can't take back, the choice that they made, somewhere where they felt like they were not fair to you, that they did not give fairly, and that led to some sort of breakdown with the Tower card showing up. So this is what maybe somebody was tempted, because the Apple card says, I wanted to say tempted. It's going to come out of my mouth. I don't know if somebody cheated. Somebody could have cheated, and that could be where this person is regretful. They know there's something that they did that they cannot take back. Some of you, remember I mentioned that the character, he thought his wife passed away and he took her teeth, right? For some of you, this person may have felt like your connection connection was breaking down and thought that that was okay. That gave them the green light to do something that they later regret. That's a side message. They may be like, oh, I felt like we weren't connected, or, you know, our relationship was ending, or we were going to break up. So it didn't like, they may say something like that, or they may have said something like that. I don't know. Now, with the divine timing, let's see what this divine timing has to do with. Ten of Swords is some sort of ending, which is lending to a new beginning, a fresh start. Clarity, understanding, you know, maybe there's maybe some of you, something needed to end and it was the right time for it to end. With the divine timing, right time, wrong time, wait. That's what it says on the card. I'll show it to you, just so you know, so you can see. Someone may like pocket watches or analog watches. Those types of watches. I think those are analog. So something ended and it was meant to end. So if some of you needed that clarification, that's your clarification. If you were wondering if something had to end, if it was the right time for it to end, that's the clarification for you. That's your confirmation, sorry, your confirmation. We got the Seven of Pentacles. Something that you may have spent a significant amount of time investing into. It could be something, a relationship that you may have been in for, I was going to look up, Pentacles have to do with years, if you think about it, because wealth is something that takes time to grow. Steady, secure, sustainable wealth usually takes time to grow, to have or to earn. Sorry, my eye. So for some of you, you could have been in a relationship that was around 7 years, like 7 years. But it was a relationship like it had reached its peak, it served its purpose, and may have needed to end for whatever reason. Or there could have been something that you were involved with that maybe was up to 7 years that is coming to an end. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be a relationship, but it could be like you worked at a company for 7 years. Or number 7 may be significant. It could be 7 years, 7 days, 7 weeks, something. But it was something that, you know, you spent enough time. It was meant to end. With the Knight of Pentacles, there may have not been a lot of growth. For as long as you've been there, there may have been, it was very slow. And right now we have 7 people on the chat. So I think that you were waiting for something to possibly change or waiting for the right opportunity. Another thing, some of you may have been with a company for up to 7 years, but I feel like the number 7 is significant. And something that has been taking a long time coming, maybe coming towards you too. It could be that the wait is over. The wait is over. So let's see what this is. The Hermit. Some of you have my Virgo energy because I see the Pentacles. That's Earth energy. The Hermit is. Some of you may be deciding to work on your own. Maybe it's time to go on your own. To go your own way is what I'm hearing. It's time for you to go your own way. Maybe wherever you may have worked on, or maybe something that you've been working towards, and now it's becoming sustainable for you. Slow and steady wins the race with the Knight of Pentacles card. So it may be time for you may be reaching that point. For some of you, you may be retiring. You may be reaching retirement. You know, you put in your time, and now it's time for you to go on your own. I see someone here who's on the beach. Maybe some of you haven't taken a vacation for 7 years. And now you're finally getting the opportunity. Because I see the Hermit here. He's on the beach. Some of you may be deciding to go on a solo vacation. That could be something that you've been wanting to do for some time, but you never had the opportunity. It seems like it could be the right time. So this week you might be finding that out. That maybe some of you have requested leave. And it's for this. No, it can't be for this week. It could be you requested leave. Some of you may be going on vacation. You may be going to the beach this week. So the Fool journey, a zoo. Oh my God. I saw the 0 and I put 0 and Fool together, the zoo. The Fool energy. Yeah, some of you may be deciding to go your own way. Like you spend enough time doing something and now it's time for you to part ways, to end a cycle, to close something out, to start over. But it could also be like, some of you may also be starting a business and you're finally, I don't know if it's a storefront type of business. I don't know. Some of you are opening a store. It could be like you could have a store online, you know, but some of you may be opening a store. I'm getting that. How come I think I don't know how many people in America are in this live stream or will watch this, but I'm getting Boston for some reason. I'm thinking now Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Salem. Some of you may have a cat and a dog. Or you could be starting a business that has to do with animals. I don't know if you're opening a veterinarian store or a veterinarian practice. This is so weird. King of Cups. Whatever this is involved with, it's like you're following your heart with the King of Cups. You're doing what you feel is right for you. You're letting your heart guide the way, lead the way. Whatever you're doing too is tied to compassion, being compassionate to other people, being emotionally available to people. So some of you may be starting, I don't know, like I'm getting veterinarian. Like something to do with animals. Because I see a cat and a dog, or someone has a cat and a dog. Or a cat or a dog, something like that. I know it seems like I'm reaching, but I'm like my eyes went to the animals. And I'm going to show you the card. I don't know if some of you have like that kind of cat. I don't know if those are called orange cat, a tabby cat. And then this dog. I don't know if some of you have like an overweight dog. Something's happening though. Something's coming to a close. You know, you spend enough time. You probably, some of you pitching something to someone? Something that you've been working on for a significant amount of time? That may resonate with you. But if this is something that you've been working on for quite some time, it's something that you've been working on your own. Whatever this divine timing is tied to, it's going to require you to juggle. There's going to be some level of juggling, making sure that you stay in balance. You know, especially if you're starting a business and you're also working, you're going to have to make sure that you're managing your time well so that, you know, you're not missing anything. So I feel like the wait is over with something. I don't feel like this is a love situation at all. I'm not getting love at all. This doesn't feel like love. But it's definitely something that you're very passionate about with the Page of Wands. Something that you took a lot of time learning, practicing, putting into action, testing in some way. Yeah, that's what I'm getting with that. Yeah. I don't know. Some of you are getting some sort of offer with a contract as well with the Justice card. You see she's there signing something. I would say if you are going to be signing contracts, make sure that you have a lawyer present, someone who could review the documents to make sure that you don't end up getting butt stuff, you know. So because whatever it is that you're doing, it's tied to something that you really care about, that you're really passionate about, you're compassionate. It has to do with your emotions. It's something that you've been pursuing for some time and you're just very excited about it. But I would say beware of any offers with that involve a contract. Make sure that you're seeking legal guidance, legal advice, so that you know the contract you're signing is fair to you and doesn't put you in a place that you end up losing out in the end. You know, but it's like whatever you've been working on, the wait is over. You're going to be reaping the rewards in some way. But I would say it's some sort of pitch that's going to be successful for some of you. It's like you're getting the right opportunity at the right time. But it's something that you've been waiting for a significant amount of time. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for the week ahead. I mean, that was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot. That is a lot, I would say. So I would suggest if you go to the beginning of the reading, if you want to know what this reading was all about. Because this was an interesting one for me. Very interesting. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to be doing... Let me see how long I've been here. Wow, that was long. That was a long reading. But like I kept saying the letter S. Somebody's name may start with the letter S. Letter S may be significant to you in some way. So I saw that in the beginning. You know what? Let's do... Earlier today I did a full moon reading. So if you're interested in that, you could check that out. I'm going to go into the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck to see what message you need to know right now. So if you're new in the... you're just entering the reading. I'm not answering any questions. I have a pinned comment saying that. Okay, so I'm going to see what the message is. The castle. Let's see what the castle is regarding. 43. All right, the castle. Just so you can see the card. The castle. The palace, the penthouse, the fortress. The Four of Pentacles. Visiting your throne of power. Stuckness, depression, spells, walls. It's no wonder fairy tales tell of sleeping princesses within castle walls. Like most archetypes, the castle is loaded with duality. It represents abundant riches, seductive fantasy, ornate wonders, and lavish adornments. Yet the walls are thick, cold, and shadowy. This card points to a tendency to hold on to possessions, quite possibly a literal home, or position that projects the image of achievement, while the soul longs to run barefoot in the forest, leaving it all behind. At times we must settle down, yet the castle lulls us with its spell of materialism, and we fall asleep to our deepest dreams. The castle can be a motivating force, an enchanting goal to travel toward, but it's best not to linger within its walls of decadent deception for too long. Like this is just reminding me of Four of Pentacles, staying in your comfort zone. Staying in your comfort zone. What do you gain from staying in your comfort zone? Not putting yourself out there, not trying anything new, not experiencing anything new. Just sitting there. Proud of everything you've achieved, which you should be proud of. However, there's still more work to be done. You know, you should be proud of everything you've achieved, but your goal doesn't end there. You consider in what ways have you kept yourself stagnant, and what ways you've kept yourself limited. Why aren't you looking at the bigger picture? You know, the looking past what you've already achieved for yourself, but still continuing. Why aren't you still continuing to see what else is left? You know, what else you can do? What other exploration of self you can go into? What ways can you expand your mind, expand your perception, even expand whatever it is you've already established for yourself, what you've already built? That's something that you need to consider. Hi, Mick, how are you? That's what the castle is asking. What are you doing to keep yourself small? What are you doing? Why are you trapping yourself in the walls of something? Yes, you built it, but there's still more to achieve for yourself. You still have, I'm pretty sure you have more goals. You know, there's more for you to do. Unless you're tired. If you're tired, then yeah, definitely take a break. You need to take care of yourself. Build up your energy so that if there is a new source of inspiration, something new that you want to do, you want to have the energy to be able to take some sort of action toward it. But don't get limited in what success you've already achieved. Know that in what ways you can expand it. What ways can you share that knowledge? What ways can you even build upon it for yourself, or help others do that? Speech is apparently difficult for me today. Okay, let's see. Limiting. I'm going to show you the card. What are you not seeing? Because I see an eye is closed. I mean, you could savor in the success you've already experienced, but that doesn't mean you have to close your eyes to what else you can do. Like I said, there's more to be built upon. You know, where else can you bloom? Where else can you expand? I mean, if this is different, if you're like not retiring, you know, you're not in that retirement age. You know, still some people who are in the retirement age, they take the opportunity to continue to find purpose. So maybe there's a need to find another purpose for yourself. I'm thinking about, I don't know, do I want to do a separate love reading? I think I do. So I'm thinking I'm going to end this live stream and then start another one in a couple, I'm not going to say a few minutes because maybe the next half hour I'll pop on again. Maybe it won't be that long, but I'm thinking about doing a love reading for the next 7 days. I think that'll be good. This one has been for over an hour, so I'll see you maybe like 15 minutes. Give me 15 minutes. 15 to 30 minutes. Okay? Up to 30 minutes. I might come back sooner than that. But yeah, I feel inclined to do a love reading. A deck is catching my eye right now. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, interacting with me. I hope to see you next time. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening ahead. Take care, everyone. Bye.